What's up guys and welcome back. In researching for the channel and a new video, I came across a source book that I thought had something really interesting to say about the character of Ahsoka Tano during the time period of Rebels. Before we get into that though, I noticed in my analytics that a lot of you guys are not actually subscribed to the channel. So if you've been enjoying the videos and want to, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue. In the source book, it actually mentions how the Rebels' Ahsoka is far more skilled than in the Clone Wars depiction, which totally makes sense. When we encounter Ahsoka in Rebels, it's a decade after we last saw her in Clone Wars. But now with the whole grand view of the finale of Clone Wars, it is pretty interesting, especially considering just how massively powerful Ahsoka was in Season 7, specifically the last few episodes. So much so that it got me thinking, and I thought it would be worth a video. First though, let's lay a little bit of groundwork. The power scaling when concerning Star Wars and Force wielders has certainly gone up with this last year. In 2015, when Kylo Ren stopped a blaster bolt, I considered this a hugely impressive feat. Not saying it isn't anymore, but we've certainly seen more impressive now. From Darth Sidious in The Rise of Skywalker nearly destroying the entire Resistance fleet with Force lightning alone. And earlier than this, the appearance of Darth Vader and the things that he's able to accomplish in Jedi Fallen Order. Basically what I'm trying to say is that the power and feats in Star Wars have increased substantially since we first got the first episode in The Force Awakens, and increased tenfold since A New Hope. With that said, this source book actually does denote Ahsoka as one of the more powerful characters in all of Star Wars, and I wanted to make this little video and say that I do actually agree with this assessment, and I would actually put Ahsoka on the level of a Force wielder and duelist like Dooku. But before you get upset with that assessment, please allow me to explain slightly. In Season 7, Ahsoka goes toe-to-toe with Maul, and while Dave Filoni would later go on to explain that Maul is the superior duelist here, Ahsoka very much holds her own, and is even able to outwit Maul. Originally, in the Ahsoka novel, Ahsoka just manages to lure Maul into a trap. She doesn't really directly duel him, so watching Ahsoka Tano go toe-to-toe and blow-to-blow with the Sith apprentice Maul was a massive feat, especially for someone who's supposed to be around 15 years old as of Season 7. It makes sense. Ahsoka has been crafted by wartime, and more than this, trained by the Chosen One Anakin Skywalker, who is another character in Star Wars surprisingly I don't believe gets his due credit. Anakin debatably at the time of the Clone Wars is the second most powerful Jedi of his era, directly behind the Grandmaster Yoda himself, and right next to neck and neck with a character like Windu. Now let's get on to what the source book itself actually has to say about Ahsoka, again the Jedi Padawan trained by Anakin and Kenobi. Ahsoka returns in Star Wars Rebels, more than a decade older and vastly more skilled and powerful since the days when she had fought in the Clone Wars. Her horns, head tails, and facial features are all tweaked to reflect signs of maturity, as Ahsoka, now codenamed Fulcrum, emerges to lend the aid to the fledgling Rebel Alliance. Ahsoka's new lightsabers emit bright white energy blades, perhaps indicating the character's break from the now vanished traditions of the Jedi Order. The Ahsoka from the Clone Wars is still inside of her, but she's grown up and matured. Ahsoka has become the skilled fighter that everyone from her past hoped that she would be. She knows just how powerful she is, she knows how skillful she is, and she's very confident. But it's a quiet confidence. Both of Ahsoka's new lightsabers have subtly curved hilts and are stamped with a double diamond pattern, much like she did during the Clone Wars. Ahsoka fights and grips the short-bladed Shoto saber in her offhand, while wielding the other in her dominant hand. Ahsoka seizes the focusing crystals of the Sixth Brother, an Imperial Inquisitor she defeated, then purified the essence to remove all traces of the Sith red within the crystals. Obviously, this canon source indicates that Ahsoka has grown more massively powerful since the Clone Wars, and again by the end of the Clone Wars she was competing with an individual like Maul. So does this actually make sense? Well, I believe it does. Again, Ahsoka was crafted during the Clone Wars, wartime for the Jedi. She grew up fighting in massive battlefield engagements, and again was trained by Anakin Skywalker. Not to mention she's honed and crafted her skill in a universe now that does not accommodate Jedi. She's far out of the league of any of the Inquisitors. And although Ahsoka and Maul never directly engage in Rebels for a long extended period of time, I believe she far outclasses Maul as of this time time period as well. It may be crazy to imagine, but again, I believe Ahsoka is of the level of an individual like Dooku or Kenobi. Again, one of the more impressive feats that we see from Ahsoka in Star Wars Rebels is she actually manages to engage Vader, and it's clear that Vader is not having an easy time. By no means do I think that Ahsoka and Vader are equals here, but I do think that Ahsoka is one of the toughest matches he will ever face, and one of the most combatively skilled Jedi he will ever face. For a little bit of a deeper comparison, in the Darth Vader comic book series, Darth Vader handily defeats the former Jedi Council member Eth Koth in lightsaber combat. It's not even close, clearly indicating that in combative prowess alone, Ahsoka at least outclasses a former Jedi Council member. Anyway guys, that's pretty much my thoughts on the matter. I do think that it makes sense canonically for Ahsoka to be so massively powerful, and admittedly way more powerful than I initially placed her in a lot of my rankings. But as always, this video is meant to be a discussion, and I want to hear what you think. Where do you personally place Ahsoka on the power scaling? And do you agree or disagree with me with the statement that she's on the level of characters like Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith and Dooku? Or do you think that I'm just insane? As always, my friends, I appreciate you guys watching the video. May the Force be with you, and have a great day.